What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Seth the Lawn Surgeon. This video I want to talk about why I dethatch in the fall rather than aerate. Now, as y'all watch my videos, y'all gonna learn that, like I said in my other video, I'm not no Bill Nye the Science Guy, by the rules, by the book. I'm the type of guy, I have to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a very logical thinker, semi-OCD, and I do things that make sense to me until they don't work. And so I'm gonna explain to you why I dethatch instead of aerate in the fall. Now, first of all, let me explain to you the difference between aerating and dethatching, if people don't know. Aerating is when you it's like most of the time you see like spiky things. I'll put one up. I'll see if I can put some pictures on the screen here. Aerator is like these little spiky Ninja Star wheels, some of them, and then some of them these big tunnel type things with a spike on it. And the purpose of it, it's called coring. Some people call it coring. You core the ground so you can let the roots breathe, and it makes nice deep holes for your seeds to fall in when you put down the seeds for the winter. So, you know, that's why people do that. Dethatching, on the other hand, is basically scraping all the dead grass and any kind of layer of, you know, build up like grass and pine needles and stuff. It builds up a layer, and they call that thatch. Now, through research and through most people, what they say is when you aerate, it overrules the need for you to dethatch, you know. And like I said, I'm a logical thinker, so my thing is, when I think of aerating, the aerating, yes, it does rip up some of the dirt, and it will rip up some of the thatch, but for the most part, all it's doing is poking holes in the ground. And for the most part, all it's doing is poking holes in the thatch. So yeah, you're gonna make nice deep holes in the ground, but there's still gonna be some thatch there. You get what I'm saying? And so if you're planning to put down seed, you want that seed, as much of that seed possible, to hit the dirt as possible. You get what I'm saying? If if you have thatch down, then only like 25% of your seed is going to hit that soil. But if you get all that thatch up, that raises it up to like 60 to 75% of that seed is going to turn over. So that's why I like to thatch, because most people say, oh, they aerate in the fall and then they dethatch in the spring. But my thing is, why are you dethatching in the spring? I mean, you're getting up the dead grass from the winter time. I understand that. So that's a good reason to dethatch, but I like to dethatch in the fall, because I like to get up all that thatch and all that dead grass, because most of my yards, all my yards, I mulch. And so it's lots of layers of dead grass down there that I want to get up, because when I pay for that seed, I want all that seed, as much as possible, to grow. I don't want my seed to lay on top of that layers of grass all summer long, all winter long. But what I found out a couple years ago is somebody I know and I was talking to, I told him like, yeah, I don't never aerate my yard, and he was like, do you put lime in your yard? And I was like, yeah, I gotta put lime in my yard. I got like a whole bunch of big trees. They suck up all the nutrients. I like over lime it. And he said, well, that's probably why you haven't had to dethatch. I mean, why you haven't had to aerate. And I was like, what you mean? He said that when you have really good soil, really healthy soil, and you're treating it and you're putting lime down and stuff like that, it attracts bugs, it attracts worms, and those worms swim around in that soil, put holes in the soil, i.e. letting the roots breathe. So it's technically doing the same thing that an aerator would, but it's just doing it underground. So if you have healthy soil, then that's why I said, well, I might as well not even aerate. Now, in my opinion, are there times where you should aerate in the fall? Yes. If it's a yard that's real bare, say it's real dry and it has bare spots, it might be like mostly dirt, then you can go ahead and aerate, in my opinion. Like I said, these are all my opinions. It's not no facts. You're not going to Google this on YouTube, Google this on Google and find what I'm saying. This is just my opinion. And that's why I said, if there's a situation where there's a yard that's really dry and it hasn't never been treated before, I probably will aerate that, because you need to break that soil up. But if you have pretty healthy soil, pretty decent soil, there's no need to aerate. All you have to do is just dethatch it. And even yards I had never treated before, I just dethatch them, and it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna do a transformation video next spring. I've been taking pictures this year of my yards that I started treating, and I'm gonna do a transformation video next year. So I know another thing you guys might say, y'all might say, well, if you don't core, aka aerate, then how do those seeds get down into the ground? And like I said, I'm a logical thinker. How do any seeds get into the ground? Seeds fall out of trees and they melt their way into the ground and trees grow. So that, that's my opinion about that, is that, if you put seeds on a nice, moist and nice, good surface, those seeds are eventually going to soak into the ground and they're going to start to germinate, over the winter time it's real cold. It's like a moist time. Even though it's cold, those seeds will eventually get some moisture. They'll sink into the ground and they'll start to germinate. Now, germinate, what that means is basically over the winter time, the seeds aren't growing, but they're building roots. And that's why people put down seeds in the fall, if you didn't know. So they can germinate over the winter time, build those roots, and by the time spring hits and it warms up, sprouts, and you got grass everywhere. Yeah. Like that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, and y'all can do what y'all want with that information. I know a lot of y'all gonna get on here and say, hey, I know a guy, he's been doing this for 20 years and he says it's best to aerate. It probably is best to aerate, but this is just what I do in the fall. I dethatch. I put down seed. I get green grass. So leave your comments, which I know y'all gonna do. Stay tuned, comment, subscribe. Yes, sir.